Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you very much for joining us today. Today's webinar is about learn strategies to excel in recruitment. So I think I'll give about a minute because I see some new members are joining us. So we'll give about a minute, then we can officially start. Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you very much for joining us today. Today's webinar is about learn strategies to excel in recruitment. So I think I'll give about a minute because I see some new members are joining us. So we'll give about a minute, then we can officially start. Can start now. Again, thank you very much for joining us today, for making time to join us in this webinar. Today, we'll be talking about learning to strategize how to excel in recruitment. And we'll have a special guest who will tell us more about that. To begin with, I will introduce myself. My name is Lynette Musimbi Adulu, but you can just call me Lynette. I've been in Porters for almost 7 years, working in various departments. But currently, I'm working with the global marketing team and also the customer success team. And I help clients that are currently working with Portals to be able to use it better. Briefly, I'll also introduce to you more information about Portals. About today, we'll use Zoom, and if you have any question, please type it in the Q&A tab. And you can send your question in either anonymously or with your name. So we'll have a lot of Q&As between me and the guest today. If you have anything related to that, please type it in here. Or if you have any general question that is not covered or not have covered today, please feel free to let us know. And the agenda for today will be as follows. I will start by introducing Porters, and then we'll dive into the main topic, which is learn strategies to excel in recruitment. And after that, we'll have Q&A sessions whereby I will answer your questions that you have typed in the Q&A tab, and we'll conclude to end the session. First, about Porters, our company is called Porters Corporation. We have the head office here in Japan, Tokyo, and we also have our subsidiary in Singapore. And location base, we are represented in Tokyo, Osaka, Singapore, and coming soon, we'll have also another office in Vietnam. The company was established in 2001 and has been in operation since then, working in various ways to support the recruitment industry. Our company mainly provides recruitment software solutions to serve the recruitment agencies and staffing agencies. So at the moment, we have more than 2,000 clients who are in the recruitment agency and more than 150 in the staffing agencies. And we have presence in more than 11 countries. Shown here are just some of our users who use our products. And just to tell you a bit more about Porters, it's a comprehensive ATS and CRM for recruitment agencies to manage recruitment process from beginning to the end. That is from the time you get your candidate data or your job information and to the time you make a placement, and also following up after that. This is a visual representation of how it works. It can also be connected with other tools using API. So you have the base where you have the CRM and the ATS, but you can also connect it with other applications to be able to achieve more with the software. A main characteristic about portals is that it fosters business efficiency and placement maximization. So the developments made on the system strongly works towards achieving this. That meaning to be able to manage the process between the time you receive a candidate to the time you place them in a very smooth and quick manner, to be able to satisfy both the candidate and also the clients, and just to make the recruiter's life a bit seamless. So with this system, you're able to have all the data that's in recruitment system centrally managed. You'll be able to increase productivity because there'll be less time spent on trying to find information or trying to report something. And then by doing this, you'll be able to accelerate your PDCA cycle because you'll have your KPIs visually accessible. You'll have your progress put all in one place, and you'll be able to track what you're doing. And by doing that, you can also standardize your business process flow and be able to identify the bottlenecks in the process and improve further. To summarize, the strength is that you have flexible data management, which is also centrally placed and visually accessible. And by doing that, the information is standardized, and therefore you can pinpoint what needs to be improved. And also in doing that, you're able to build a successful business strategy for your recruitment agency. And another product that Porters takes pride in is the Porters magazine, which publishes current market information related to recruitment industry and staffing industry by interviewing key players in the industry about various topics as far as human resource is concerned. So these are just a few of the copies that were published previously, focusing on the six Southeast Asian countries. And we are looking forward to having more of this information reaching more people in English in a very, very near future. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you our very special guest for today. His name is Takahiko Mochizuki. He's also the Regional Sales Manager of Porters Asia SG. He's been in Singapore for 5 years, and he has experience as previously as a recruitment consultant, and with a track record of multiple top performer as a recruitment consultant. So we'll hear more about his story. He'll tell us how he was able to achieve that, give us some tips, and hopefully by that we'll be able to learn something new to help us do better in our business. And the Q&A that I'll have with Mochizuki will be in two parts, which will be for consultants and also for managers and executives. So the content will be covered in these two parts, although in a continuous manner. So whatever you're in charge of, if it's managing a team or you are a consultant, we ask that you also give us questions if you have, or anything that you'd like clarification on in the Q&A tab. And if there's anything that is not covered here that you'd like to know about, also please let us know. Okay, I'd like to introduce to you Mochizuki. Please take over.
All right. Thank you very much for introduction, and good afternoon. This is Mochizuki. I'm working in Singapore as a regional sales and marketing manager in Porters SG. So yeah, actually I was born and raised in Japan, and I have been living in Singapore already 6 years. So I had joined Porters 2022 last year. So before I joined Porters, I used to work as a recruitment consultant in a recruitment firm. So in my 5 years experience, the first 4 years, I was in charge of a Japanese candidate and most of Japanese company. And last 1 year, my previous company set up new division as an IT division, and I used to work in IT division. And my candidate coverage is not only Japanese, but also non-Japanese candidates. And also that is not only Japanese speaking candidates. So so many types of candidates I was in charge of. And the reason why I choose my career as recruitment consultant is I like to communicate with people. And when I was in Japan, I was also very keen on working in overseas. So I want to be someone who can support a person who has some aspiration to work in overseas and have some motivation to work in overseas. Yeah, that is my motivation to work in recruitment industry.
Thank you very much. Okay, you already answered the first question, so we'll go ahead to the preceding question. The second question is, how was your day like as a recruitment consultant?
As Renat mentioned, I was working as a 360 consultant. So my main responsibility is in charge of my candidate and also in charge of my client. So I spent my time, 80 or 90% to call or communicate with my candidate and client. So before COVID, I always visit to my client office, and I will make some face-to-face meeting, and also to the candidate. Some candidate is already in Singapore, so I make some physical meeting with my candidate. And if the candidate is not in Singapore, I will make phone call or I will make some virtual meetings like Teams meeting or Skype or Zoom meetings. So yes, I spend 80 or 90% to communicate with client and candidate.
Great. So in one face-to-face meeting, it takes about how many minutes? 30 minutes?
It depends. It really depends. So I also made some very short meeting, like 10 to 15 minutes to catch up with my client or catch up with my candidate. But sometimes the meeting, it was like 1 hour or 1.5 hours. It really depends. And also, like I say, I spend my 80 or 90% of time to communicate with my client and candidate. But if I got a many job order, I will more focus on talking with my candidate. But if I do not have so many, not enough job orders, I will try to connect with my client. So it depends. That ratio of, candidate and client, it depends on my working situation. Yeah.
I see. Thank you very much. Okay, on to the next question. What are some common challenges that you faced as a recruitment consultant, and how did you overcome them?
Recruitment business has, in my opinion, recruitment business has two key, I don't say it is correct or not, but there is two key factors. The first one is client side, and the other side is candidate side. So sometimes I have, enough job order, but there is no candidate, and sometimes I have much candidate, but I do not have enough job order. Yeah, most of all our common issue is, always on candidate side or always on client side. So the thing is, I need to clarify what is my issue at this moment, because recruitment consultant is always very busy. Yeah, always have so many meetings with client and candidate. So, but if there is no deal, it's very difficult to define, and it's very difficult to clarify what is my, challenging problem. Yeah. So I need to define and clarify my issue. And also, I used to work as a team. So if I stuck in my recruitment process or my job, I always ask my manager to help me, or I always ask my colleagues to help and give some tips or give some insight. Yeah.
Okay, so the challenge was based mainly either shortage in candidates or shortage in jobs, and you relied on your team members and your manager.
Yes, and also in this recruitment process, it is very common, challenging. But this was closing. So once candidate got offer, but I am not really sure if this candidate accepts offer. So I always ask my manager, or I always ask my colleagues to help. And yeah, or we try to close deals together. Yeah.
I see. Thank you. Okay, on to the next question. So what was your memorable achievement as a recruitment consultant?
I still remember this case. So that was my second year of my previous company. So I BD one Japanese very big MNC healthcare company, and I got an appointment with managing director of this company. And after I got a chance to visit his office, and we had a meeting. But he said, "Oh, sorry, Mochi-san, there is no vacancy for Japanese natives, but we have one local position." So I got my one local position, but I was not in charge of local position. So I passed this position to my colleague, and my colleague worked hard, and she managed to close this deal. And after that, this managing director contacted with me again. "Hi, Mochi-san, there is one Japanese vacancy. So can I ask you to source for candidates?" And I said, "Of course." And after 1 to 2 weeks, I closed this deal. And at this moment, this managing director said his performance is amazing, and I really appreciate it. And after 1 to 2 months, he contacted me back. "Hi, Mochi-san, now we are planning to make another overseas rep office in." Actually, that was Thai. Yeah, so I really want to ask you to source for good talent. And I said, "Yes, I will do my best." And I also source for candidates, and I place candidates. And after that, he asked me, to be honest, I have another plan to make another rep office in overseas. And I said, "Yes, certainly." And I sourced for actually very good candidates to them, and I placed all the positions. So basically, I really feel I contributed to this company expanding overseas business. That was my, huge memorable achievement. I can remember it.
That's very nice. So actually, what I've taken out of that is that first of all, the team play, because you're able to work together with your team member because you're not in charge of the staff at that time. And then out of that, you also are able to create a good relationship with your client.
That's right.
Who trusted you with other positions that you were not even expecting, and you're able to build a very big many placements with this particular client, right?
Definitely, yeah.
That was very good. Okay, next. So what are the key skills and attributes that you believe are essential for a success as a recruitment consultant?
That's a good question. Of course, communication skill is quite important, but if I get some idea about top bidder has very unique personality or unique the way of communication. So one top bidder is very professional. So once he got the position from client, he just acts like professional. But the other top bidder has kind of very friendly personality. Yeah, once she got the job, "Oh, thank you." It's like very soft communication. So I cannot say, hard communication or soft communication is better, but be a professional and good communication skills, and also have some professionalism. It's like last time I was in charge of IT, and I was in charge of healthcare industry. So I need to learn about healthcare industry market trends, and also I need to catch up IT industry. And also IT industry has so many roles. It's like PM, PMO. The first time I stepped in IT division, I was not very sure about what is the difference is PM and PMO, but I learned again and again. Yeah, that is very important thing. Communication skill, and keep learning, because market and trend is rapidly changing. Yeah.
Understood. Thank you very much. The next question is, can you share some strategies for building a strong and diverse candidate pipeline?
Okay. There's two factors. The first, the one is quality and quantity. But at first stage, quantity works better. So after we got offer, and of course we saw for some candidate, but we are not super sure what candidate is 100% suitable for this role. So firstly, you need to get several candidates, at least 5 to 10. Of course, it depends on your job, but quantity is very important at the first stage. And also get a good mix of active candidates and non-active candidates to build up and maintain quality. So if once we got some order from our client, we always focus on sourcing for very active candidates. But it is very quite difficult to know this candidate is active or not. So yeah, once you think this candidate is suitable for this job, you can try to contact to this candidate. And this candidate say, oh, actually, I'm looking at a new opportunity. Yeah, that'll be better.
I see. So it's good to have a mix of both.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
And have more at the initial stages so that I
Yeah,
narrow down from.
definitely.
Okay, understood. Next, how do you effectively match candidates with job openings to ensure that there's a good fit for both the client and the candidate?
Like I say, to understand market trend or to get some market knowledge is quite important. Otherwise, we cannot understand what is job responsibility, what is a job scope, and what is the requirement. So the first thing first, yeah, we need to understand the market and we gotta have some knowledge. That is very important. And after that, especially for candidate side, we always receive CV or we always receive resume. So once we can see resume or CV, we know their experience and their skill set. But before we make some candidate interview with a candidate, we don't know their personality or their expectation or what they expect to us. So that is the very important thing is understand candidate deeply without information in CV or resume. That is very important. And also, to understand company culture is quite important. Once we receive a JD from client, we can understand what is the job responsibility and what company does. Yeah, it's very easy to understand. But I really believe and I really recommend you to go and visit the office. And after you visit the office, you feel kind of office mood or company culture. You can really feel it. So of course, candidate skill matches job requirement is quite important. And yeah, this is the essential thing. But to close a deal, we also need to understand their, personality match. Yeah, that's quite important. So I always try to, communicate with clients and candidates and understand their personality and understand them deeply. Yeah.
I see. So there's the skill fit, but also there's the culture fit for both the candidate culture and the company culture. There needs to be a fit.
This is very important. So to pass CV, to pass interview, we only, personally, we can only understand like the information from CV or information from JD. But if you try to close the deal, understand deeply. Yeah.
Understood. Okay, on to the next question. What are the best practices for conducting interviews and assessing candidate qualifications?
This question is kind of related. Question number 7. So the first thing, be professional. We always need to catch up some, knowledge and market trends and understand the market. Otherwise, we cannot talk with candidate and clients in, common language. So like I say, when I started to my job, new IT division, I don't really understand what is PM and what is PMO. So if I don't understand what is the differences, I cannot talk with my client and candidate. So getting some information and getting some knowledge and getting some experience is quite important. So that is an essential thing. And also communicate with candidate is very important. And we can see what he or she wants. We need to understand. So when the candidate made up their mind to change job, there is some trigger. So we need to understand what is the reason why he or he wants to change his job. That is quite important. Is it salary? Is it a current job reporting line? Is it current job environment? Or he or she wants to work in overseas? Yeah, that is quite important. We need to understand why he or she needs to change his or her job. Yeah, I always try to get this information.
So that means digging deeper than just what is on the CV, understanding the motivation or the background.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. On to the next question. How can recruitment consultant build and maintain strong relationship with both candidates and clients?
So there are many factors to maintain a strong relationship, but keep connecting to clients, keep connecting to candidate is a very important thing. So once we place the candidate and he or she finished their probation period, most of a recruitment consultant will not contact with their candidate. But after she or he joined the company, I mean, only one message is okay. Hey, how's it going on? Hey, how's your new life? Yeah, that is very important thing. So I mean, keep commit our job. That is very important. And also, I'm so sorry for saying the same thing again and again. Also, catch up market and get some knowledge about industry and the job. Yeah, that is very important. So be a professional. Yeah.
Be professional, keep in touch.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So how do you measure and track your own success as a recruitment consultant? And what metrics or KPI are important to monitor?
All right. In my opinion, recruitment KPI is very important. I mean, as you guys know, KPI is very important, and KPI number related to their sales or deals. Yeah, I strongly believe it. But generally speaking, there is some factor to make KPI. The first thing is how many jobs you introduce to candidates and CV sent, and how many interviews set up, and how many offers did you get. Yeah, that is a key, very common KPI. So it depends what KPI is most important. So sometimes CV sent is important, but sometimes interview is important, and getting offer is of course important. But the most important thing is conversion ratio. So it's like this is just for example and very extreme example, but if you send 100 CV, but you only arrange 2 or 3 interviews, maybe there is some I don't think there's some problem, but there is something you need to fix it. It's like your sourcing is not really effective, or the candidate is not really matched to this job. So of course KPI number itself is very important, but we also need to double check conversion ratio. That is important. Yeah, I always monitor my conversion ratio. Yeah, this week I sent 20 CVs, but I only arrange 3 interviews. What is going on? I will ask my client, hey, I sent 20 CVs, but only 3 candidates is passed to first interview. Can I get some feedback about my candidate? And after that, my PhD get back to me. This is very solid reason. Blah, 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 blah. And my sourcing will be better. Yeah.
So other than having the company KPI, you also monitor by yourself how you are performing or how you're progressing.
Yes, that is very difficult thing. So company also set up KPI as a very general thing. But in my opinion, KPI depends on the division who belongs. So of course we need to catch up and we need to follow up the general KPI as a company, as company said. But the most important thing is conversion ratio, I believe.
Yes.
But this is very difficult to manage here.
Okay. Because the conversion ratio will get you to the KPI set by the
exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay, to the next question. Can you share some tips for managing time and workload effectively while juggling multiple job openings and candidates?
Yes. Yeah, recruitment consultant is very busy. Need to call, need to send CV, need to source for candidates. There are so many things to do. But most important thing is prioritization. So once you receive the job, you need to prioritize this job. So I also prioritize my job orders. So there's 4 factors to define and make some prioritization: high fee, low fee, and easy to close or difficult to close. Yeah, this is my 4 key factors to define this job is first priority or second priority, third priority. Yeah, so always prioritization is quite important.
Understood. So does the 4 factors apply to general recruitment, or that was just your priority?
Yeah, I would say it also can say for general recruitment, because sometimes we receive so many jobs. One day, 3 or 4 jobs, and next day, 2 jobs, and Wednesday, so many jobs. So sometimes we are overwhelmed with so many orders, but we cannot handle all the jobs. So that's the reason why I say prioritization is very important. But we also have some sales targets. So how to it's better to make some formula to how to achieve sales target. Yeah, I always prioritize job job orders. Yeah.
Understood. And how do you handle difficult situations or conflicts that may rise during the recruitment process, such as negotiating salaries or managing candidate expectations?
Oh, this is very a good question. So I always try not to happen this kind of very difficult situation or conflict. So what I can say is preparation is very important. So at the very first contact with my candidate, I need to understand what kind of character is she or is he, and trying to for avoiding some conflict or some very difficult situation. So the one thing I always did is do not overpromise. So this is just example. If his salary expectation is 100K per year, but our market price is, it's like 90K, yeah, I will say that is not market price. So if I will find 100K job to you, I will introduce to you. But what about we can apply 90K job first? It's this kind of conversation. So I will need to tell the fact or very certain market trend or certain market salary range. Yeah, that was very important thing. So sometimes we really need to get some CV set number or job application number. We say, oh, your salary expectation is 100K. Oh, yeah, it's very market price. Okay, let's apply this job. Yeah, we can negotiate. It will make very difficult situation, and it will make very tough conflict between candidate and client. And after we got offer, the offer salary number is 85K. Oh my god, what should I do? So yeah, to avoid this situation, yeah, we need to tell what is the market. Yeah, that is very important thing. This thing is also applied to the conversation to client side. Company side. Yeah, if they send me very strict JD, to be honest, there is no such a candidate. So how about this requirement is not really important. Can I remove this requirement? Yeah, we always need this communication. So do not overpromise, and mutual understanding and understanding what is happening in the market. That is very important thing.
Understood. So important thing here is to not overpromise and underdeliver.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Correct.
So because of time, I'll try to move a bit faster than the half there. So how can recruitment consultant adapt to the changing landscape of remote work and virtual hiring process?
Oh, there are so many opinions about remote working or virtual interviews. But in my opinion, this trend is very good for recruitment business. Because like I said, recruitment business, quality and quantity is very important for recruitment business. But if we are still stick to face-to-face interview, or we are still stick to client visitation in person, we have not enough time to reach out to so many candidates and reach out to so many clients. So the conclusion is this is very good situation for recruitment business. And personally feel there is not so huge differences but between virtual meeting and face-to-face meeting. So yeah, we also can proceed our business in this situation. So that is very good situation for recruitment business. And also one more good thing is, so if you usually conduct a virtual meeting or like Teams meeting or Skype meeting, but once you got some very executive candidate or once you got appointment with very high position companies, it's like director or CEO, yeah, you can say, okay, basically we are doing a virtual meeting or a Teams meeting, but at this case, I really want to see you in face-to-face. So I get an appointment to visit their office? Yeah, that's also very, big punchline, I feel. So, yeah.
Great. Okay, can you share some tips for time management and prioritization in a fast-paced recruitment environment?
Like I said, to get some prioritization has 4 factors, and make a formula to win. Make a formula to close a deal. Yeah. Once you got this formula, yeah, you can make it happen, I feel.
So based on a formula, you manage your time.
Yeah, manage my time, and also to understand my strong point or weak point is also very important. Yeah.
Understood. On to the next one. What tools, software, or resources do you recommend for recruitment consultants to streamline their workflow and enhance productivity?
Good question. So nowadays, recruitment process and recruitment business became a little bit complicated, and getting so many job orders and getting so many candidates, CVs, and getting so many process. So I feel the important thing is centralize all the data, and also use some automation. That is very important. Yeah, I keep saying, but recruitment consultant is very busy and the schedule is very packed. So how can I say? Let's remove some paperwork or some admin jobs. That is very important to make some pure sales time. That is quite important. So if the two helps us centralize and automated, and one more thing is if I can see some information or some progression or some KPI in very visually, that would be better.
Okay, so to centralize, automate, visualize.
Yeah, that is quite important for current recruitment business, especially centralize the data. Yeah, so data and operation and flow is quite important for a recruitment business.
Great. Okay, and how can the company support a consultant's path to growth, for example, in training, education, or tools?
Like this I mentioned, training, education too, these are quite important. So for training, especially for, very new consultant, like junior consultant or new consultant or a fresh grad consultant, they need to train them how to communicate with candidates, how to communicate with client. Yeah. So there is some basic communication way. And after he or she completed how to communicate with a client or a candidate, and they can make their, I don't know how to say, but, their specialization. So if she is very extrovert, yeah, she can act like very friendly person. But I strongly believe there is some very essential and there's very basic way to communicate with client and candidate. So that is very important thing to, very first step as a recruitment consultant. And for education, this is also the thing I kept saying, to catch up some market trend and to catch up some industry information. That is quite important because nowadays recruitment industry is rapidly changing, and also market is rapidly changing, and industry is rapidly changing because of IT or very fast flow. So, but that is not very easy to catch up this kind of information by themselves. So educate about some knowledge or information, that is also important. So for about tools, like I say, yeah, centralized, automation, and visualization. That's the important thing.
Okay. And the policies. So what kind of policies or procedures can company implement that will support consultants to succeed?
Okay. Any kind of policy and any kind of program is okay, I feel. It's very personally. But the important thing is to have some big picture, to paint big picture together. Anything is okay. So once we make some big picture in the company, yeah, we we can work together to same direction. That is quite important thing. But on the other hand, it's also very difficult to, work towards same direction because each consultant has each motivation. So for management side, we also need to understand each consultant or each staff has each motivation. But with understanding this, we also need to paint some big picture. Yeah.
Also, it's important for everybody to understand where they need to be.
Definitely.
Work with each consultant to know their strengths and their motivation.
Yes.
Towards the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So moving forward, how can team play or teamwork be actualized to bring the best outcome?
It's also quite important. So recruitment industry and recruitment consultant is very competitive, not only with competitor, but also internally. Once we got some very nice candidates, it should be very competitive. Once we got some nice clients, it should be very competitive. So to avoiding this kind of very internal conflict, I always share my information and I always share my company information and I always share my experience and I always share everything that I have. So try to make team strong. That is very important thing. But without any motivation or without any incentive, it will not make it happen. So the good idea is how about to make some team incentive. Yeah, if team or division have a team incentive, yeah, the team or division we work together. So that works, I feel. Yeah.
That's very true. So that if it's winning, it's winning as a team. You have your own individual motivation to win as an individual, but also as a team.
Right.
Okay. And question 19. In your experience, what distinguishes a top performing recruitment consultant?
Good question. I was just thinking because there is so many types of top performing consultant. So I do not say only hard work makes him, top bidder or only work smart makes him, top consultant. I really cannot say. So yeah, very important thing is needs to understand what is my strong point and what we want to do. That is very important thing. So once you understand what is your strong point, you just can follow your, strong point or kind of thing. But also very important thing is be professional. Like I say, be professional. Understand the market and understand industry and understand a job scope and responsibility to talk with candidates and to talk with clients with some common language. Yeah, for getting some, trust from candidate and client. Yeah, that is very important thing. And for, be a top performer. And also, he or she always has some motivation. Any kind of, like I said, any kind of motivation is fine to get high salary. Of course, fine. Or wants to contribute to the, candidate or client. That's also nice. Any kind of motivation is okay. But someone who has very strong motivation, became top bidder.
So strong motivation. Understand your strength and capitalize on your strength.
Yes, exactly.
To be able to and also be professional. So understand your industry or understand your department, how the industry is working in. Okay, well understood. And the last question of the day, what advice do you have for new recruitment consultants looking to establish themselves in the field?
Okay, my advice for my advice for new consultant or junior consultant is first thing, understand your style. What kind of personality do you have? What kind of motivation do you have? What kind of person you want to be? Understand your style and understand yourself is very important for this recruitment job because you always need to talk with the client. So first you need to understand your style. And the second thing, find role model from them up to what they do. Yeah, that is very important thing. So first time, at very first phase to dive into recruitment industry, it is very difficult to be a consultant. But once you've got some role model, you can follow this role model, and you always ask him or ask her, how can I do? What should I do? And you keep doing for 1 year or half year. Yeah, you can be a consultant and you can get some essential skills. And after you got an essential skill, yeah, you can be very specialized. Yeah. And one last thing is, like I said, specialization is very important. Certain knowledge, certain skills, certain experience. Yeah, these are quite important for be a great consultant.
Great. Thank you very much for your insights, for sharing with us your tips, and
Thank
all
you,
the
Lynette.
information, that you achieved during the 5 years in the recruitment industry. So because of time, I'd like to wrap up everything and also give a chance to highlight some few questions that have come in. So to wrap up the strategies, first of all, I'll say is take stock, learn, and then do Kaizen. Kaizen is continuous improvement. So in taking stock, you need to understand what is your current work style right now, and what are the challenges that are coming with that kind of work style. Then you need to identify the improvement points, and based on that, you need to learn. So you need to learn from top performance, how do they work? So once you know how they work to perform that, you need to personalize it to your style and make it better. You own it. So you make it do better than what the top performance are doing, and personalize it to your style. And once you have that, keep on looking for the best practices. What is working for you? The company should have a platform where these best practices can be shared. And then, of course, what is working for you today doesn't mean to work for you tomorrow. So you need to keep on improving on those best practices. Yes, and with that, I'd like to conclude that for consultants, first, you need to have very good communication skills, which of course you can learn and build. You also need to understand your style, understand yourself, and be open to keep learning. And for the management needs to invest in the consultants, provide for them a platform to share best practices, provide for them the tools that they need to excel. But most of all, you keep on improving, because as we know, pre-COVID, post-COVID, things have changed. We have had to make some changes in our work styles. So we need to keep on finding what is working now and keep on improving on it, taking stock next time to see if it's actually still working, or we need to improve it or change gears towards that. So with that, I'm going to address a few questions and try to summarize them again. I have some questions here regarding sourcing from LinkedIn and connecting with clients from LinkedIn. So I'll just give my idea, and if Mochizuki has something to add, he'll add quickly, and then we'll wrap up. So I will put all the questions of LinkedIn in one statement. I will say LinkedIn, the positive part about LinkedIn is that most of us are on LinkedIn, and it's easy to communicate on LinkedIn. So you're able to get instant response. The downside about LinkedIn, not all profiles are updated. So the fact that you find a candidate or a client that you feel they suit you doesn't necessarily mean they're actually suitable for you, for what you're working with, because the profiles may not be updated. But how to juggle all this, I think LinkedIn will be in a better position to assist. Yeah, Mochizuki, do you have anything else to add about LinkedIn?
Yes, there's two things. And the first thing is keep sending, because candidate or client always got tons of message on LinkedIn. So keep sending is quite important to reach out to client and candidate. And also another thing is, how can I say, make this message very attractive. I always try to make my email very attractive to get some attention from client and candidate. So that is very important. So mail itself is just just a word, but once there is some very strong line or a very strong punch line, this email gets some attention from a client and candidate. So make message very attractive and also keep sending. Yeah, that is my advice for sourcing some candidate and client. Yeah, I like it. I really like it.
Great. And I have another question here. I think I also very much like this question. If a person is quite introverted and does not like to talk much, is he or she still suitable to become a recruitment consultant? If not, what kind of job which related to HR field is suitable? Thanks. In my opinion, you can always learn. The fact that you don't talk much doesn't mean that you can't perform. The key is communication. Communication doesn't mean to talk face to face all the time. It could also mean to know the right time to ask the right questions. Yeah. So there are many aspects of this which can be applied. And I think if you really want to become a recruitment consultant, you can definitely become a very good one if you get the right, if you get on the right track, right guidance on this. And as Mochizuki said, you need to know your strengths, where you stand, your strengths, and your weaknesses, and capitalize on your strengths to be able to be successful.
Yeah, in my opinion, your introvert personality is also your strong point. Like I'm very extrovert person, but not all the person likes extrovert person. Some people feel I'm too talkative and I'm a careless. So there is always good side and bad side. So yeah, you do not think introvert character is not very suitable for recruitment job. Yeah, some people want to talk with kind of very calm and have some ear to listen to the person. So yeah, you can think this is your strong point. So yeah, you can make it happen. Seriously, I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Very good advice for this person. And then the last question is, based on the current market trends after the pandemic, what is the best practice and how to engage new clients leads? In my opinion, I think because of the pandemic, most people have gone online. So they're more easy to find than before. Because those ones who had less presence online have had now to build the online presence to be found or to find their own clients. That means they're also more easily found. And yeah, one channel somebody mentioned earlier is LinkedIn. That's just one of them, but there are many other online channels where they can be found. So it may take some work to get them, but at least now they can be found online.
I also agree with Renat. Before COVID, this kind of webinar or online seminar is not super common all over the world. But after this pandemic, this online seminar or virtual meeting or virtual session is super common, and it is very good for our business. All over the business to reach out to another candidate. To new candidate and to new client. So of course, if it become very common, it will be very competitive. But this is one of the best way to reach out to client and candidate. So yeah, I also agree with you in it.
Thank you very much. I think we can spare a few 2 or 3 more minutes to take more questions if there are. But I'd just like to end the session officially for those ones who would like to go on to other matters. So here I'm sharing Mochizuki's LinkedIn profile. If you're interested to connect with him, ask more questions, just have a chat with him, get advice from him, anything. He's very, very talkative, as you've seen, very, very jovial, easy to connect with. And so please feel free to connect with Mochizuki and send in your questions or anything you have you'd like to know more about him on LinkedIn. And also after this session, we have a very short survey about today's webinar. We'd like to know your feedback, how you felt about it. So please let us know so that it will help us to improve on our future webinars. And other than that, I want to really, really thank you for making time to join us today. I hope it was an informative session for you. And we usually have this kind of webinars after every 1 or 2 months. So if you're interested, please let us know. We'll keep on sending in information of the new webinars that we'll be holding. And we have 2 more questions. A question to Mochizuki. Do you mind giving an example? How do you prioritize your tasks?
I'd like to make my slide how to prioritize my task when I was a recruitment consultant. But I always make some, what is this related in English?
Like a grid.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, I use this kind of thing to prioritize my job. This is high salary or low, high fee or low fee or easy to, close or difficult to close. And that's why I say, visualization is quite important. If you got some idea on your head, that is very difficult to, prioritize, or it is very difficult to categorize your idea. So does it help?
Yeah, I think actually it's easy to understand. So it's like a quadrant. Whatever ends up on the top right is the one that requires most attention. Whatever ends up in the left bottom, one that requires the least attention. Well, not the least, but in the order of priority, probably, yeah, the least. So it's up to you, depending on your industry or jobs you're working on, to know which one ends where, based on the availability of candidates, based on the what else was there? Easy to place or difficult to place, and then what was the other aspect of the quadrant?
High fee, low
high
fee.
fees. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
fee.
So if you have a client who's ready to pay 100% fee for the placement, and another client who's ready to pay 20% fee of the placement, then you will be inclined to working with a client who's ready to pay 100% fee, which makes this client on the top right quadrant. I hope that answers your question. And the next one is, can we get a copy of this presentation? Yes, that's possible. I'll share this either later today or tomorrow in the morning. Also, the recording, we'll have it on YouTube. You can share with your colleagues. Any other question? Yeah, as mentioned, if you have any other thing that you'd like to share or ask Mochizuki, please feel free to contact him. And other than that, again, thank you very much for making time today. This is the end of the session. It was really, really nice having this talk. And I hope that you have learned something that you can take back and use and be helpful for your career in recruitment. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon again on our next webinar.
Thank you so much.
Have a good afternoon. We have two more questions. Okay, one. How do you handle a client that asks for highly experienced candidates in very less salary?
Oh, good question. I also faced this situation last time. So, okay, frankly speaking, there is two ways. Try to change the expectation. Otherwise, we will not handle this position, because recruitment business is not a volunteer business, to be honest. So getting fee is our, final goal. So if you talk with your client, but if the client is very stubborn and do not change their, attitude towards this job, yeah, you do not need to focus on this position, and you can take more time to get another job. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, official decision has ended, but we'll still be around in the next, 5 minutes, Mochizuki and I, and we'll try to answer anything that is still pending.
Yeah, please feel free to connect. Connect with me on LinkedIn and send me a message anytime.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.